Good morning, everyone. Welcome to our Wednesday meditation gathering. I'm so glad you're all here to share this time together. This week, Jim Whiting will lead us in a meditation, and then we'll have 20 minutes of silence. After that, we're going to open it up for sharing, and we end at 10:45. Over to you, Jim. Jim, you're on mute.
Thank you, Dan. Yes, apologies to those who were expecting Nick Andreas. He seems to have a connection problem, so can't be with us at the moment. He might join us at some point, but we can't get in touch with him. I've got a reading from the text, or extracts from the text, on Heralds of Eternity. It's from chapter 20 of the text. So I'll read that for you. You look upon each holy instant as a different point in time. It never changes. All that it ever held or will ever hold is here right now. The past takes nothing from it, and the future will add no more. Here then is everything. Here is the loveliness of your relationship, with means and end in perfect harmony already. Here is the perfect faith that you will one day offer to your brother, already offered you. And here the limitless forgiveness you will give him, already given. The face of Christ will look upon already. The face of Christ you yet will look upon, already seen. Can you evaluate the giver of a gift like this? Would you exchange this gift for any other? This gift returns the laws of God to your remembrance. And merely by remembering them, the laws that held you prisoner to pain and death must be forgotten. This is no gift your brother's body offers you. The veil that hides the gift hides him as well. He is the gift, and yet he knows it not. No more do you, and yet have faith that he who sees the gift in you and your brother will offer and receive it for you both. And through his vision will you see it, and through his understanding, recognize it and love it as your own. Be comforted and feel the Holy Spirit watching over you in love and perfect confidence in what he sees. He knows the Son of God and shares his Father's certainty. The universe rests in his gentle hands in safety and in peace. Let us consider now what he must learn to share his Father's confidence in him. What is he that the creator of the universe should offer it to him and know it rests in safety? He looks upon himself not as his Father knows him, and yet it is impossible the confidence of God should be misplaced. So as we go into meditation, remember all of our brothers, all of those who come to mind, that is, and see them as sinless. Whoever should come to mind in the meditation, just see them as sinless as you are, and rest in that peace.
Open your eyes slowly and come back into the room. We have 16 minutes left for sharing your reflections and your questions. If you'd like to speak, raise your hand or use the reactions button at the bottom of the screen, and I'll invite you to take yourself off of mute. If you'd like to ask Jim a question or a comment with confidentiality, put your message in the chat function at the bottom of the screen, and I'll read it out. Who'd like to share? Catherine, take yourself off mute.
Thank you, Jim, for stepping in for us. Kind of bonding as a group somehow, to have you just step in and lead us. It wasn't a section of the text that I know very well, and I posted some of it in chat, and the bit that called out to me was, he is the gift and yet he knows it not. And I thought, oh, no more do you. And so I kind of meditated. I meditated on, I am the gift and yet I know it not, or I know it not and yet I am the gift. So I sort of feel like offering that to everyone. You are the gift. And yeah, I sort of got a deeper awareness. I'm used to the idea of looking for the gift in my brother, whether they're raging at me or being lovely to me. But somehow I think with myself, it's like, oh, I'm the gift if I feel peaceful, or I'm the gift if I'm in a certain mood. And I think what this is saying, and, you know, it'd be interesting to hear people's views, but it's saying we're always the gift, just as our brother is always the gift, whether we're calling for love or we're giving love. If our brother chooses to hand that over to the Holy Spirit, somehow we're always in the right place at the right time. Yeah, so it's not, I just feel like meditating on that, really. I am the gift. Wow, you are the gift. Thank you.
Thank you, Catherine, for that. It's lovely sharing. It is often the case, and for me anyway, that I find it easier to see others as the gift than myself. But of course, you know, there is just the gift, which we all share in, either as giver or receiver. And you put it so beautifully, so thank you, Catherine.
Who'd like to share? I'd just like to say thank you, Jim, for stepping in at very, very short notice and having a plan B in place. And it was beautiful. So I really appreciate that. Thank you.
Well, the course is the gift. I could have opened any page, I think, of the course and read it, and it would be a gift. It's the most precious gift we have. And I mean, it reminds me that really everything that's presented to us in life is a gift, whether we see it or not. We judge it good or bad, but everything's a gift. And if we see it as that, then it is a gift. It becomes a gift simply by seeing it as that. And so it's, yeah, thanks, Dan.
Yeah, thanks, Jim. I see everything is a gift if I see it with my right mind, if I hand it over to Holy Spirit, and I could see somebody cause me trouble, but if I give it to Holy Spirit for healing, it's a gift of forgiveness, and that gives me everything I want. Carmen, come in.
Hi, everybody. Thank you, Jim, for your reading. Thank you, Catherine, for your interpretation, which was really insightful. And actually, just on what you just said, Dan, that's actually it made me think, when you encounter the gift in somebody else and it's not an offering of love, but a call for love, which is a nice way of saying there is conflict. It's interesting. You say you take it, you give it to Holy Spirit. Yes, that's absolutely true. But is it also the correct thing? And I mean, I use that term loosely, but I mean, to think what it is, why does that affect me? Does it resonate with me in a negative way? Do I need to look at myself, for whatever the conflict is? Do I need to see where that is in me, or do I not? Because normally that would have been the first, we're taught, oh, if that's happening, where is it in you that is resonating, because everybody around you is a mirror, is a reflection of what you are. So, are we supposed to do the introspective work, or just hand it over to Holy Spirit? So that sounds like the easy way.
Yeah.
Easy way.
Well, yes, absolutely, and that's the one. I don't know whether you were asking, who were you asking, Carmen? Sorry.
Well, it was the thought just leapt into my mind as Dan was saying, you hand it over to Holy Spirit. But I mean, if anybody, it's out there, whoever would like to answer is, please feel free or answer, or, give your thoughts on it. Yeah.
I'll just jump in and say, for me, if somebody might trigger me, but not somebody else, and that shows me there's some guilt that needs healing in me. And so the gift is this person or the situation is showing me something inside of me that needs healing. So I think it's all about noticing and then giving it to Holy Spirit. Very simple. And then Holy Spirit will heal it. And I'll be lifted up a little bit more as I let go of this old ancient guilt. I'm done.
Thank you. Yeah.
Do you want to throw anything in?
Yes, thanks, Dan. Yes, giving it to the Holy Spirit is the way, because otherwise there's always that big trap of feeling that we're blameworthy in some way. That, if there's something in me that's projecting, it is quite easy to fall into self-blame, which is certainly not the way. Handing it over to Holy Spirit then prevents that happening. I remember once hearing about a group of monks whose task was to live a blameless life. And I remember thinking at the time, this is a long time ago, well, how can anyone live a blameless life? We're going to get blamed for things all the time. But of course, what it really means is I don't blame. If there's no blame from this side, that's what matters. And it also includes self-blame. And blaming is always pointless because it doesn't get us anywhere. It just ties us up again in the ego. So this is where simply handing over to the Holy Spirit, knowing that we cannot do it ourselves, is the way. And as you said, Coleman, it is the easy way. It's not the easy way in the sense of where it's a cop-out. It's the easy way because it's the right way.
It also can be helpful when I'm triggered in some way to say, Holy Spirit, how would you have me see this? And just listen, see what comes up. And that can be very healing for me, I'm sure for all of us. Who'd like to share? Teresa.
Yeah, this is a goodie, isn't it? I mean, I've had therapy, and I've gone, where are you, Carmen? There you are. And I've gone round and round in circles, really. And then I'll remember that John Campbell says, oh, go straight back. When did this first happen? And so I think there's so much there. I mean, in this world that we feel as though we're in, this dream, but it feels very real. And And sometimes if there is something that I can have a memory that is triggered from the past, that I can actually look at that with Holy Spirit. And then I can see, if I'm seeing with Holy Spirit's vision or thought, then everything is lifted, you know, and you don't need, well, I wouldn't need years of therapy. It's kind of like sorted. But there is something about, you know, these memories and where they are. And I truly think that if you get to a little speck of guilt somewhere, or a big lump of guilt somewhere, it's the whole line. It's not just the trees of personality, it's of this guilt or this pain. It's the whole line of the sonship. So it's when some lovely healing can be done with Holy Spirit, not with, you know, Holy Spirit's the therapist. Anyway, that's my 2 penneth worth. Thank you.
Eunice, would you like to say something?
Yes, hi everybody. Yeah, I've been thinking of sin, forgiveness and sin in my brother, because I've been doing a course with Kieran J, and a lot of hate that I didn't even know was within me has had a release. And I was reading chapter, well, only just coincidentally, but there's no coincidences, is there? I came to chapter 13 in the text, which started reading, and Jesus mentions hating your brother. We don't realize how much we hate each other, which is mind-blowing, really, until you start digging around and concentrating on forgiving a certain thing in your life, which has opened up a lot of doors for me and released a lot of stuff I didn't even know was buried in there. But in chapter 13, it does say, and I can't quote the paragraph, I'm afraid, and it is at Circle of Atonement edition, where I came across it, that the Holy Spirit can't help you with deeply rooted hate unless you actually bring it out and bring it out to the light. So it seemed to me, I don't know if anybody else has got an opinion on this, you're in a bit of a catch-22, because I was bobbing along quite happily thinking, there's no hate in me, I love everybody, and you know, I'm pretty sorted now. I've got the course in my life. And it's only since doing this intensive forgiveness with Kieran J, I've realised I'm absolutely not sorted. I'm full of it for this particular focus brother that I chose. And I've got a lot of healing to do. And coincidentally, then I was reading chapter 13, which is saying the Holy Spirit can't dig it out. It can help you forgive, certainly, once you show it and face it and confront it and see it. And I mean, a lot of things the Holy Spirit can help you with and lift from you. But with this one, it can't. You've got to bring it out. And I'm sorry, I can't give you the reference in chapter 13, but it was a very revealing read for me. So I just pass that on to everybody. We've got to dig there. We've got to dig it out.
Okay. Lottie Taylor wanted to know where the reading came from, Jim.
The one that it's from chapter 20 of the text, and it's called Heralds of Eternity. I think it's 5. I think it's chapter 25. But the title is Heralds of Eternity.
Great, thank you.
And as Eunice says, everything has to come to the light. Nothing can be healed unless it's brought to the light. And it doesn't have to be deep hatred. It could be anything. Anything that is hidden, even if it's mild hatred, has to be brought to the light for the Holy Spirit to work on it. In my own experience, it just comes up. I mean, these hatreds and these grievances just come up, and it's then I hand them over to the Holy Spirit. I've never done much digging. Perhaps I need to, I don't know, but they do come up in life, and it's just then that I hand them over rather than, I don't know. It may be the case that you know, for some situations which have been so painful, they need to be really investigated. This is something which is for each individual to look at. I may have lived a charmed life, who knows? But they come up, I mean, things come up anyway for me, and if they're handed over, once they're brought to the light, then they can be healed. It's the stuff we're knowingly holding on to that we don't really want to hand over to the Holy Spirit that we need to worry about. If we know that something needs to be handed over to the Holy Spirit and we don't do it, that's really our focus of attention, to look at why that is. What is it we're really wanting to hold on to?
Do you want to say something?
Thank you. Do we have a time? Enough time?
You have
Just
a lot of time.
I'll be quick. My real brother in Japan said something to me a week ago, and it takes so long time to forgive him. I'm just keep telling myself, let me see that I want to see instead of this, and I'll give it to the Holy Spirit. I just keep parroting, just repeating what God said, Course said about the thought of bitter feelings popping up every day. And now I'm keep giving the Holy Spirit, I cannot analyze how I feel in this. And I have a temptation to analyze how I feel that, because he said this and this and that. But taking a week to feel peace, reasonably peace. But recently I have a horrible dream, in nighttime dream. I cannot even describe how horrendous my dream is. It just kept coming out. Last night I had a horrible dream. But what I can do and feel the peace and have a compassion to my brother is, for me, it is like almost nothing to do other than give it to Holy Spirit, because this thought coming up. So I just imagine a light, and Jesus stand there, and just giving everything, the idea that I believe it should happen, or he shouldn't said this, and I should do that. Everything, anything, just give it to him, and giving up. I'm surrendered. I don't know any other thing to do. So it takes a week from last weekend to all this, every day, a bit and bits, and I'm feeling more peaceful, more loving. I don't know, loving, no, not just more peaceful, feeling okay. That's coming up over the week.
Thank you, Ayu. Okay, we've come to the end of our session together. It's been wonderful to have you here. And thanks again, Jim, for stepping in at such short notice. And thank you all for being here. Lots of
Thanks
love.
for all the sharing.
Thank you, Jim.
Thank you,
Great,
Jim.
really
Thanks for
enjoyed
coming,
it.
Jim.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.
Thanks,
you, everyone.
everyone.
Thank you, everybody.
Blessings. Bye.